Exodus chapter 20, verse 17. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his male servant, or his female servant, or his ox, or his donkey, or anything that is your neighbor's. Right? Covet. Our Western culture, in a way, not only our Western culture, is kind of individualistic kind of culture. I need to up the Smith, the next door neighbor. The next door neighbor bought a car. I need to buy a car. Now, doesn't mean now you want his car, but it's coveting in its bad because you want to live and not look worse than him. So you don't go out and steal his, but you actually steal maybe from your family or others to buy the certain things that the neighbor has. So because you're coveting what he has, now you go and you buy, but ultimately at the root of this lies the idea of coveting. I remember in Russia, like in 20,000s early, when we were on a raft trip once, and there in the Chulim River, and we, with the whole program, and I'm not going to go into too much detail about how it all worked, but it was a lot of fun for the kids. 3 rafts, 2 different teams, a kitchen team, 1 raft, and a blue and a red team. And we gave the kids tasks. And in one place, they had to find a flag, and then at the flag, and then there were some balloons, and then they all had to get the balloons, and everyone had got a balloon. And one of the older boys, his balloon he burst soon after getting it. And instead of, okay, my balloon burst, that's that. And what he did was, he then went to all the other boys, and he took their balloons and he burst them all. If I can't have, you can't have. That kind of idea. Now again, look for the original people. The Israelis, just the previous one was about bearing false witness. It's a social necessity, ultimately, that you will have a strong judicial system. And with all those people traveling through, and with their future and the whole country building, they needed a strong judiciary. God's even going to call the judges like gods. So that is an important part, and already that was dealt in the previous word, commandment. So other very important part is corruption. I've spoken about that as well a number of times. Africa, not only Africa, is rife with corruption. And because there's corruption, there's wars all the time. Just spoke this morning with the people traveling here to this lake about corruption in Africa. And there's wars all the time because why? The people want to have power, they want to have money. And that is coveting. They want to have what other people have. That's that. And so people start wars for that. It's like here, you can't come with any kind, you need so many permits because it borders China and they're afraid the Chinese might want to take this land from them, kind of idea, right? Yeah, I mean, it might be used as an excuse, but I'm not now here going to go into the politics here because I'm not a politician again. But why? These beautiful mountains is like, why? Because you're coveting, you have enough? So in any kind of country where you are coveting the stuff of other people, anything they have, wives, or the slaves, or anything, a balloon, car. And like I said already, in the Western world, we think we're not breaking this law, but how many of us, oh, that guy got a new PlayStation, so now I need to kind of buy it as well. So what's wrong with the PS4, right? Why do you need a PS5 or a PS5 special, whatever one came out now? Why do you need to go from a PS5 to this one, kind of just because, right? The neighbor has, and therefore, so yes, this thing has to do with ultimately the fact that we must not look at what others have. Okay, others can go there, others can afford this, and so I kind of want that inherently as well. And if I can't have it, I need to steal it. I need to go around and be corrupt and take money from other people. I need to force my will on other people. I need to bully people. I need to do all these things because actually all I want is I'm coveting what they have. So this is ultimately as well the meaning of this verse. Firstly, what it would have meant for them, as a group of people moving, this big group moving through the desert, if they would have covered other people, I mean, there would have been theft all the time, and it would, corruption, just imagine all the corruption. And it's going to creep in, clearly. We'll see it later on in the Old Testament. And for us today, I mean, it still holds true. We need not covet, because if we don't covet, then so what? I'm not going to take corrupt money. I'm not going to take an envelope under the table kind of idea, just because then I get money and I can buy stuff which others can't afford kind of idea. So, yeah, stop please this coveting of stuff. And that person is so beautiful, so I need to do this to myself so that I can look more beautiful and spend and waste money and all these things. We waste so much. In the end, we don't have enough for everything else. But because we are coveting and we just don't realize it, or we just don't admit it to ourselves. Christians, non-Christians, we all of us. So yeah, stop coveting. Okay, now I'll show you more. So this view from the lake. Yeah, there's, I'll go there on that side now, some yaks, and you can kind of still go up here. Tsomgo. Interesting, they don't really have that many lakes. Like coming from Siberia, I mean, there's like lakes everywhere. And here is like the first one where we came to. It's not even a big lake. I have no idea how deep it is. Absolutely no idea.